But I have to say,
Bullseye.
Ryan Searle has been more than competitive today. He has taken out the top seed Joe Cullen. He has taken out Gary Anderson already. And we have seen
25.
some incredibly resilient displays from a number of players. I've watched Gerwyn Price lose a game. I'm not sure how he lost it
Jose's
earlier
won
on.
the ball.
He was averaging 114 for most of that match. And Mike Kyvenhoven managed to do it. Ryan Searle is going to have to do something similar. Take his chances, probably 90% of the chances that come his way. Because I do not see this man, the Portuguese #1 and Grand Slam champion, the Premier League runner-up, I just do not see him averaging less than very high 90s. It's going to be good.
100.
How ludicrous is it right now that two of the best 4 players on the planet are outside the top 10 in the world?
140.
Absolutely. Look, obviously, Johnny Clayton has a lot of non-ranking money to his name. So does Jose de Sousa, but they're only moving one way in the rankings.
180.
But so is this man, Ryan Searle, who hits the first 180 of this contest. One from Jose, I believe, breaks the record for a Players' Championship event. It'll be his 33rd.
60.
Before we get onto that, can we just marvel in the almost absurd nature of that last 180 from Ryan Searle, because those big, thick, heavy barrels,
91.
and he got them in sequence in a line. That just goes to show how good a dart player he is. I don't know anybody else who could do that on the planet.
But there's not many people who can throw those darts that Ryan Searle's got, not in the way that he does. He is a very, very talented man. He is not going to take out the 130, 40. And it is that, you'd have to say, early on, that's an opportunity, one he hasn't taken. And Jose might shut the door in his face. 66 will do.
66.
But it's another chance for Searle.
Did take a bullseye checkout in the semi-final. It was a very good shot, and he might need it again here. Bullseye.
49.
Just a bit wayward on his last couple of shots there. And de Sousa's back for 66.
Game shot.
In for a 16 darter. 1 down, 7 to go. And I think I'm right in saying, Dan, that de Sousa is looking to do something here that he's never done,
58.
which is win back-to-back Players' Championships.
Absolutely. I mean, look, he's still, as brilliant as he is, it's still very early in his PDC career. He's got 6 titles to his name. He's had a Euro Tour, he's got the Grand Slam.
140.
And obviously, he's got some Players' Championship titles to his name. Now, Jose has won 4 already. It could
100.
be a 5th today. And he will, I'm sure he's the clear favourite for this final. But he's only played Ryan once before and he was beaten by him.
And it wasn't that long ago.
Only back in March, and it was a big win. It's 6-1.
But what has he already done today for his chances of making
60.
the World Match Play? He's done it lots of good, let's put it that way. He's jumped the likes of Jermaine Wattimena, Callan Ridds and Luke Humphreys in the qualifying list. And he has now got in his sights
100.
this lot. Ross Smith, Vincent van der Voort, Ian White, because he's going to drop out of the top 16 potentially in the next few events. Mervyn King,
100.
Gabriel Clemens as well. This win would almost guarantee his spot.
Yeah, the 4 grand difference between runner-up and winner could be big. Bullseye for Jose. Now he went for
80.
it. I'm not surprised, I have to say.
Well, pick your route for 47.
60.
What could he possibly do here?
Well, 15 for double 16 is what he was doing against Rob Cross in the semis, and he's doing it again.
50.
But he is not quite as clinical as he has been at other times over the last 24 hours.
Searle needs something to get going. This could be it.
98.
Oh, he's getting closer. That one was nudged.
You could see the bull wire move. Double 8. He's not moving.
24.
So he evidently felt that he could see enough of it, but Ryan Searle has a chance here, and Jose de Sousa is not firing on all cylinders. The old Robert Thornton route for 25. Now double 2,
Game shot.
and it's there, and Searle levels up.
Why would you apologise in a final? You got £4,000 in cash and ranking money, and you apologise after getting all of those chances.
41.
He's just too nice.
I'll tell you what, this final will have a very different atmosphere than yesterday's final, when
81.
things were a little bit frosty, maybe, between Jose de Sousa and Michael van Gerwen.
Yeah, I think that's very fair to say that it was a bit feisty. but
59.
In a good way. I mean,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
no negativity around it. It's just two guys really a bit of testosterone and desperate to win.
24.
Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And Heavy Metal is desperate to win here, but just get the feeling that de Sousa is just taking a moment to try and figure out what is going wrong.
I mean, he will click into gear. I'm sure of that. It's just how long is it going to take him to do that? And can Ryan Searle take
78.
advantage? I have to say, for all de Sousa's brilliance, he's averaging more than 101 for the day, and he's one away from breaking the record of 180s in these events.
80.
Fortunate for Ryan, but he should have lost to Johnny Clayton earlier. He survived 6 match darts for the Ferret, and nobody has taken Ryan Searle, well, apart from Joe Cullen. Sorry, Joe Cullen took him to a last leg decider,
170.
but he's avoided that with everybody else. So he's had some pretty convincing wins.
Let's face it, Ryan Searle deserves to
95.
be in the World Match Play based on his form in the last, say, 18 months, in my opinion. But the rankings don't lie. Just from what I've seen of him, he looks
59.
like someone who is dining at the, well, not so much the top table, but he's close to the front. But the rankings have got to tell the story.
134.
That's much better from Searle to leave 87.
Sometimes it takes the rankings a little while to catch up, doesn't it? Now then, what's he doing here? 96 would have been treble 20 for double 18.
89.
Okay, so he was then looking to hit double 18 to leave tops. So you do whatever you want, Jose. Oh, 85, treble 15. Would have left tops,
Correct.
and he's missed a big number there, right? He should have at least had a dart at the bullseye. And little things like this, when de
71.
Sousa's not firing on all cylinders, he needs to take advantage.
To me, he looks like someone who is searching for form in
Game
this
shot.
final. He's searching for the third leg, and he gets it. But no final is the same as another. We saw yesterday's. We've seen others that
97.
he has won, of course. But this has got a different feel to it. Sometimes you are just going to win with a scrappy game. And if he kicks in,
140.
he's got Searle exactly where he wants him.
Absolutely. Well, look, Ryan Searle, he's only made one PDC final before now, and he beat Michael van Gerwen
80.
in a high-quality, tight game. I mean, it was boys' own stuff. You reach your first PDC final, you play the, at the time, undisputed best player on the planet, and you beat him when he's playing
140.
well.
The fact that he's making a second
140.
PDC final means that Gary Anderson was right about Ryan Searle. Gary Anderson was right about Johnny Clayton. Who else is he going to be right about? He seems to be able to
140.
spot talent quite well.
He's not been that keen on predicting Gerwin Price's rise, has he? So he's not done everything right.
Somewhat clouded.
134.
Searle leaves himself on 50. Jose, double 12. Double 6. He's having
75.
problems, isn't he, Jose?
Hasn't been that clean on double 6, has he? And Searle's going for tops.
Game
And
shot.
he is level. Has he survived the first 4 legs? And now we can get down to business of a best of 11 from here.
Well, you would think Ryan
60.
Searle is going to have to improve if he's going to win this. You would think. I don't know. Maybe Jose de Sousa will go through this game, bumble around the sort of 90 averages at now, not hit a single
91.
180, and end up. It might happen. I don't understand how after he's won his last 13 games on the spin, playing incredibly. But it could happen.
83.
I know that this board is supposed to be the exact same as the next board because he played his semi-final on the other board, but
180.
maybe Ryan Searle owns this board. And there are small intricacies, whether they can be measured or not.
100.
We've already heard Merv and some other people saying, that just looks a little longer.
Oh, yeah. They're all made on the same machine. They're all
135.
exactly. They look like you can check them with a laser, but yeah. They do just get things stuck in their head.
It's feel, isn't it? This is a feel game, and De Sousa is very much a feel player.
50.
Probably, I mean, the ultimate field player is probably Ryan Searle because he has absolutely no idea where the darts are landing. It's just, it sort of feels like that's the right way to throw it and what he needs to do.
37.
Do you know what? If I was making a dart shirt for Ryan Searle and he wanted to put a saying on it, I'd put Ryan Searle, heavy metal, ignorance is bliss.
Hey, look, it works,
180.
and that works. It is 180, number 33 for the day. Is it a wasted one?
18.
No, it is not, because Jose de Sousa comes back looking at double 10.
Game shot.
Dodges a bullet from Ryan Searle there, and his record-breaking 180 turns out to be a vital one for the Portuguese.
So he now has the record of 180s in the Premier League. He now has the record for 180s in the Players' Championship Day.
140.
Next in his sights is...
Well, next in his sights, very much like Johnny Clayton, it's probably the World Match Play and the World
57.
Championship. The two big ranking titles, and there is nothing to suggest that Jose de Sousa and or Johnny Clayton can't be picking up those titles with the way
Can you
they're playing.
imagine the amount of 180s that Jose could hit in a World Championship if he had lots of close matches all the way to a final, potentially? He could get close to the 100 mark.
130.
Yeah, I mean, I think back to that Gary Anderson and Adrian Lewis final where they broke the record for 180s, and I just think that Jose de Sousa and anybody
36.
could smash that record. As de Sousa, don't go to the 19s or anything, Jose. That would be silly.
140.
Leaves himself 170. Right, the two biggest checkouts in the game. 167 for heavy metal, 170 for Jose.
100.
Might need it. Bit overzealous with that first dart. And Searle, who has
60.
done well to stay in this final, albeit with a little bit of fortune, is now looking at 61.
It has to be 11 and ball. There's the 11. Oh, and again, he's
42.
moving that wire around.
It's almost like the bullseye is repelling his dart. Or his dart is repelling the bullseye.
Well, it's just like it's ducking out of the
56.
way. Just somebody distract it next time he throws at it. See if he can just stay in one place.
Double
Game
fours
shot.
in there. That has been on the end of a string for him the last couple of matches. Great shot from Searle. Level after 6. But maybe that bullseye is like Neo from the Matrix.
Well,
60.
If it just stays in one place, Ryan Searle will have a better chance of pinning it. But I think both players really can consider
180.
themselves a little bit fortunate because 6 legs into this game, they are both way off the standard they've been playing all day. In Jose's case, way off the standard he's been playing for the last 2 days. Well, 3. 127 average on
96.
day 1, if you remember, before he went out in the next round. But they are banging this game. They would have feared if they were averaging 89 6 legs in, they might be 6-0 or 5-1
131.
down against their opponent they're facing right now.
Slight segue, but were you impressed with Rob
59.
Cross today? Because I was.
Absolutely. He could do nothing against Jose de Sousa, but his first win over Michael van Gerwen in 3 years. A win over Peter Wright as well, averaging a ton for the day.
58.
He was pretty good against Jose. It's just Jose was irresistible. But very, very good to see from Voltage. Very good to see from Stephen Bunting and Adrian Lewis.
Yeah, good stories
94.
today. But ultimately, one of them is going to have their name on the book. Searle goes to treble 16 for double 12. Oh,
120.
little miss there. And it's going to be his turn on double 6.
Well, double 6 the pair.
180.
Absolutely. 180 number 2. Just reminds Ryan Searle this leg isn't won just yet. How about double 3? Oh no, Ryan. And you can tell the reaction says it
No
all.
Ouch. That one is going to hurt. Because
Game
De
shot.
Sousa has found it. And look at the expression.
Well, 3 of the 4 legs Jose has won. We've had 7 holes to throw in this match, but 3 of those have been in 16 darts for Jose
140.
De Sousa. Now that is a chance. And to underline that, Ryan Searle has missed darts in every single one of those legs. If he'd taken those chances, it genuinely
80.
could be 6-1 Ryan Searle. I know, it's ifs and buts. You take all your chances, then yes, you're playing very, very well. That's not happened in this
57.
match.
How was the saying go? If ifs and buts were candy and nuts.
Yeah, I mean, there's another one, but we're not going to go for that. You get the gist. And Jose is getting increasingly frustrated. I mean, it must be absolutely
30.
baffling to him as well as me that he's just played at a certain level. You'll need all 3 darts, Jose. He's played at a certain level for 2 days solid, and it's disappeared in the final.
You almost did a Raymond van Barneveld there.
140.
Just leave it in. I'll take the better dot. Well, even with a maximum here, Searle is the favourite for the leg.
140.
There's a lot more shoulder being involved at the end of this day than there was a little bit earlier on.
He can get a little bit lurchy. I mean, look, Paul, you're
80.
in back-to-back Players' Championship events. You've not won back-to-back, have you?
I won on the Saturday and lost in the final on the Sunday.
Yeah, so you've reached the final of both.
140.
I mean, does it take its toll, or is adrenaline getting you through at this point on day 2?
Well, just watch Searle at double 12 first. Ooh, hello.
Wow.
What happened there?
68.
Well, that won't have felt good for field player Ryan Searle. This won't feel good if it goes in. Double top. Oh.
71.
Well, somewhat fortunate not to lead double 6, I'd say. Because he's got a different bed. And double 4
Game
comes
shot.
to his aid once again for 4-4. But to go back to what you were saying, I remember that weekend in Crawley like it was yesterday. It was actually 10 and a bit years ago. I spent a lot of energy on the Saturday getting through Gary Anderson and
140.
Adrian Lewis to win the first one.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I played against Justin Pipe in the semi-finals on the Sunday, I was really tired.
100.
I got through the semis, and in the final, Wes just had a little bit more energy than me. By the Monday morning driving home, I was spent.
Well, there aren't many people who've won
134.
back-to-back titles. It's a pretty exclusive club. But for Jose De Sousa
100.
to potentially do so here, it is a new thing for him. And yeah, we know he smashes in 180s, he throws silly averages, he wins titles, he's been doing
91.
that. But this is kind of a new thing. 2 long days of darts going all the way to the decider. And look, the way this game is going, we could be going the full 15 legs.
140.
I completely agree. Unless someone finds a hot streak.
And it is there for the take. Somebody hits a hot streak and
60.
starts averaging 107 for a few legs on the spin. They might run away with this. And it might be Ryan Searle. Bullseye for the 161. Don't move!
Game
Don't
shot.
move and you'll hit it! Ryan Searle, he'd worried it. He'd been kicking that bullseye ring all around the board all game. And it finally finds the button for the 161 and potentially a pivotal one. It's our first break and heavy metal hits the front.
80.
Great shot. But did you notice on the first shot of the bullseye, he nudged it to the left? And then the next one, he nudges it back to the right, and he hit the right corner. So it's a good job he missed it last time because he nudged it enough.
It was hitting the bullseye in stages, in installments.
98.
He can barely see, and he can hit a moving target.
Quite.
Well, just imagine
100.
if Searle can win this title. His 2 PDC ranking event titles would be against Van Gerwen and De Sousa in the finals.
100.
Well, the thing is, we say that now, and yeah, it does sound amazing. But if you'd said that at the time when Ryan Searle won his first one, your next title in
100.
18 months or so time is going to be against Jose de Sousa, it would have felt very, very different. We know that Jose, and we knew he was good then, but he has become a terrifying player in the world of darts who is doing things we've not seen or very rarely seen. His 180 hitting today, 32 in 53 legs leading up to this final. He's not carried it on, really. He's only hit 2 in this final. It's still broken the record.
30.
But it's kind of at the ratio that Phil Taylor, his best ever tournament, the European Championship 2009, it's at that sort of level as Searle looks at double 16 and now double 8, and he's got time on his side. Well, big fat 8 and a double 4 when he comes back would probably be the best thing to do for Ryan Searle.
Probably. If he does that, I wouldn't be surprised if he kisses double 4 a little bit later on.
It's played a big part in him getting to this stage.
Game
And
shot.
he pins it again. I'm not sure. I'm just after total up how many times he's hit it. I think it's 3 times he's hit it. He did miss it in the very second leg because he ended up on double 2, didn't he? But 3 times it's come to his aid.
36.
I think De Sousa is gassed.
He looks it, doesn't he? He looks it. To be honest, he looks a little bit here
140.
like Michael Van Gerwen looked yesterday in the final when De Sousa just took it away from him. And actually, he looks like both of the guys looked on day 1 here when Joe Cullen beat Gerwin Price because they looked absolutely
171.
ruined. But Jose de Sousa's still managed to pin a 171 there, so don't write him off.
Not yet.
45.
If you had offered this position to Searle, he would have had your hand off. But interesting thing that you just said about
133.
playing De Sousa in a final now compared to maybe 18 months ago. I think you can say that about a lot of players. If you'd have said that about Justin Pipe, for instance,
180.
in 2010, you would have said, I'll take that final. But 2 years later, you would have said, oh, God, that's a tough one.
Well, Johnny Clayton at the same time. Now,
133.
28 left. Nicely done, but 136 for Searle is a possibility. No longer. There have
100.
been misses at doubles in this match.
Game shot.
Not on this occasion. It's a 13 darter for Jose de Sousa. He cuts the gap to just 1 leg, but this is a match that Ryan Searle has in his hands. 2 holes of throw, that's all he needs.
99.
And even Jose de Sousa has been unable to break heavy metal over the course of this final so far.
Well, that statistic really tells the tale, doesn't it?
99.
Being able to protect your position. Did he start on 19s there?
He did, yeah. I'm not sure why. During the Premier League, he had entire nights where he was
93.
playing almost exclusively on the 19s. He said it was a bit of a shoulder problem. Now, I don't... Maybe it started to manifest itself. Or maybe Jose just thought that 19 was the obvious way to start.
Well, there's a lot of shoulder in the action. He pushes the
134.
dart. He doesn't actually propel it with his lower arm. It's more shoulder in and hand guides it.
101.
Well, that's a nice little visit there, just to get himself 1 dart in front. But the likelihood is he will be behind, but maybe not. Well, that was a
61.
bad visit, execution-wise and tactically.
And Ryan Searle can punish. He knows he's got 2 visits from 208. He might have more than 2 visits.
94.
A valuable last dart treble means that he's a 1 treble finish away from a 7-5 lead.
Loves
99.
tops. on the end of these combinations. Should get it. Tops it is.
94.
And that is about a centimetre from its target to get to 7.5. Now, 108. It is tops for the Sousa for 6.6.
60.
Oh, and he goes the other side of the wire.
Wow. Tiny, tiny margins. And
Game
Ryan
shot.
Searle pins double 10. He is one leg away from just a second PDC ranking title. I think he thinks he's got this.
59.
He's a 12 daughter away, maybe.
You always know. And look, anybody in the PDC can just chuck an 11, 12 data from nowhere, but Ryan Searle in particular.
123.
And there's a little bounce in the step for heavy metal.
Pressure is like water if it ducks back to him, really. If you've ever had a conversation with Ryan Searle, he is just so horizontal.
174.
But there is a 174 from De Sousa. He leaves 268 again. Can he get the tactics right to leave the finish this time?
100.
Well, there's a good chance he hits a ton. Okay, what now? Bullseye?
133.
No, just keep ploughing away at the 19s, and if you hit the treble, it works.
It's actually left a really handy number too, if Ryan Searle leaves a finish here.
100.
And he doesn't anyway, so it does not matter. 6 darts from here for Jose de Sousa. 19s, 15s, what do you fancy? Okay, double top.
Game
Oh,
shot.
that's a couple of 174, 133 innumerately, and then takes that out. Oh, my word.
There is, right there, a Jose de Sousa leg. You wouldn't see that leg from anybody else in the 128.
It's the wrong thing to do.
140.
But he won the leg in 12 darts, who cares?
12 dart of the hard way.
Yeah, look, the averages have climbed up to 94, 95 now from these two. It's got better as the game has gone on.
139.
And it's not over just yet, because Jose de Sousa is really making Ryan Searle work for this.
He's got to stay there. Switch, Ryan. Do not go anywhere near that dart.
171.
Beautifully convicted brilliance, because he knew that that dart could possibly drop.
Particularly with the bomb that he was about to throw at it. Ryan Searle. He was a
95.
window cleaner, but he might be about to pick up his second PDC title. What's the setup shot like? Not very good. The glare at the board. Oh, no,
21.
no.
As good as the last visit was, that was just as bad. And now, don't leave. Oh, how has he left the finish? There was so much wrong with that last dart, apart from the execution.
Oh, what are you doing, Ryan?
81.
81 leaves 88. Jose de Sousa's left 128 by hook or by crook. Now then, same again. For double 10. Oh, it was nearly almost a carbon copy of the last leg. Absolutely incredible.
But this is for the title. 18. Bullseye to win. And he shakes the
63.
bull again. Oh, such drama. And De Sousa to take us all the way.
Jose de Sousa has just become favourite for the title once again, and favourite to win back-to-back titles. Ryan Searle, it was a bullseye finish earlier on in the game that finally got his nose in front, and it looked like that might prove decisive. But a missed start at bull has allowed de Sousa a chance to close this out.
59.
Whenever De Sousa starts on the 60 in this match, it just doesn't seem to work. When he starts 19s, he looks stronger.
Well, and then he goes back up to the treble 20 and pins it.
100.
His opening visit hasn't been very good the last few legs. It's his second, third and fourth ones, which have been high scoring, often poorly planned, but still devastatingly effective.
But that's very
140.
useful. Now, it's another one of those numbers, Dan. 302. You've got to be really careful. Can Searle find something big here?
Well,
100.
you don't have to be really careful. You could just plough on completely regardless to what the math says.
Just leave 122.
Yeah?
Or 162. Or 202.
100.
Well, what that does is it gives Ryan Searle a chance. He's got to get in amongst the lipstick here.
60.
Oh, a troubleless visit. Really, when he didn't need it.
Could go bull. He's not going to happen. Of course,
100.
and he's just going to keep chucking at the treble 20. A bullseye, 25, would have left him a 2-darter for the title. And Ryan Searle, oh, could he? What a shot this would be.
140.
Well, it's good.
The play there was the 25 and bull to leave the 2-darter. The 145 plus.
Yeah.
But it might not matter. Because De Sousa, who finished yesterday's final with a ton plus checkout,
Game
has
shot
done it
and
once
the match.
again.
Jose
He
De
goes
Sousa.
back-to-back in Players' Championship 15, so it's 14 and 15 going his way, and Ryan Searle will have to wait for another day.